left in Group C between the international wildcard Bangkok Titans and the LCK's SK Telecom. Gentlemen, the group is already decided. So, you know, we know that there's not standings implications with this game. However, the last time we saw these two teams go up against each other, we saw the blind pick Aurelia mid into the faker Olaf. easyhoon is playing this game, so we might not see that again. But this is to say the last time that these teams went up against each other, the Bangkok Titans, they came out and they wanted to show some stuff. They came out with some real gusto.
Yeah, they actually came out with an homage to Faker, I feel, and that is where G4 takes a lot of his inspiration from, and he would have very much enjoyed that matchup. So I'm looking for him to do something similar here, get even more experience under what is a pretty good assassin player, and see if he can push the echelon a little bit more, have some fun on Summoner's Rift.
It's like, I think it's clear to see that Bangkok Titans is taking this opportunity to learn. They're not really going for the pride approach to try to get those wins by going for the crazy-ass team comp, as I said earlier. And they're going for these standard team comps that they've played in the past, and they're trying to learn. And I actually like that approach.
Actually, I think Bangkok Titans, if they have the chance to use the same team composition like when they're against EDG, I think it would be really good because we can see that they have a really good early advantage, but they executed badly because of the shot calling problem. So this game, we know that it can't change anything because they are already being eliminated, but I hope that they can use the same team composition and try to correct their errors.
Well, we'll see if in the absence of pressure, they can make something happen. One last time today, we're going to send it over to the guys in the caster booth for the call.
All right, thanks, Dash. And it is time to move into SK Telecom versus Bangkok Titans, our final game of the day. No group standing implications. Everything's all locked up. We've got the best of the group versus the worst of the group. But that doesn't mean we still can't have a ton of fun.
Yeah, normally I like to say when you're doing predictions that you have to play the games. This is a game we don't actually have to play, but in essence, we're
Why do you lie to us,
hopefully an
Jack?
entertaining thing. I think this game has a lot of potential to be really entertaining.
I think it will too. I mean, Faker's not playing, so we're not going to get any mid Olaf. We'll see if easyhoon can get all crazy, but I feel like for easyhoon, getting crazy is like letting the 4 pencils in a perfect line on his desk be a little bit out of alignment. I feel like, whoa, it's a crazy day, guys. So we'll see what happens in Champ Select as we go into SK Telecom versus the Bangkok Titans. Of course, Bangkok Titans making it here, getting a lot of experience, hopefully, against some of the world's best teams. And the bans are going fast and furious. Gragas, Gangplank, Lulu, Mordekaiser. And what will the last ones be?
I'm a bit surprised they banned the Gangplank on the blue side.
Yeah. Maybe they just really don't want to play it.
I think you're right.
I don't think that Marin would be unable to play Gangplank, but based on the fact that they're already 5-0 against the Bangkok Titans, he might have a certain pick in mind and just doesn't want to have to deal with it.
Well, you got to wonder how much of this is SKT being like, I wonder if we can break the record for fastest game yet in groups. It'd be tough. I believe we're at, what, like 23?
Yeah, there's been a lot
Early
of
in
23 or
23
22-minute games. Cloud9 won really fast on day one.
Callisto
SKT
ban.
earlier today won incredibly fast against EDG.
Yeah.
Well, we have also seen a 20-minute surrender.
That's the fastest game, Monty.
Complete game. Complete
All
game.
right.
Non-surrender game.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry, I broke the rules there for a
I
second.
guess I've tied for the fastest game at Worlds.
This is
too.
actually a really important clarification. As far as tiebreakers go, if there are 3 teams tied, as far as doing seeding for the tiebreaker bracket, average win time is factored into that equation.
Sure.
That's the thing that breaks the tie. So it's actually really surprising that there was the quick surrender game. It wasn't a 20-minute surrender, it was like a 30-minute surrender. But the fact that they didn't stall that one out was really surprising.
Well, they are going to grab that Elise first. So far, so serious from SKT.
I was hoping they'd first pick the Twisted Fate. And
Yeah.
they are playing more or less seriously. The Gangplank ban, the Gragas ban, taking away the Yasuo, a pocket pick there for G4 that he's jumped on. And it looks like we may be getting a more serious game this time. Darius and Rek'Sai will be coming out first for the Bangkok Titans. Insta-locking that Twisted Fate, though.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any incentive for Bangkok Titans not to take this game seriously and not to give it their all. They nearly took down EDG, and there's still a chance they can walk away with this with a victory, which would be huge, especially if they end up beating a team that is favored to be the world champions.
Oh,
It'd be a pretty
okay.
nice thing to take back home.
And Marin, the first time since his first game at Worlds here, is going to bring out that Fiora. Worked quite well the first time. And are we going to see the Fagar from G4?
Wouldn't be a bad choice. I wonder how much practice he's put into it. I want to see if Marin lanes straight up against Warlock, because a lot has been made about the Darius versus Fiora matchup. And when I talk about the matchup, I'm not talking about the whole game, I'm talking about specifically in the lane. Fiora does have some of the capabilities that a Renekton would have to close the range inside Darius's Decimate, and she can also riposte the Decimate or the ultimate if she times it properly. So I think a well-played Fiora can actually beat a Darius in lane.
Well, it's going to be interesting, and it's certainly going to be a little bit of an experiment for Marin as well, too, to see if he can pull it off. Are we actually going to see Xerath? No, I didn't think so. Tristana Thresh, 2 more serious picks by BKT. And if it's your last game at Worlds, why not give it your all? Why not show your fans the best you can possibly do? Looks like they're going to swap it out for the Alistar.
In my mind, Bangkok Titans has already shown that they were legit. I mean, coming that close to beating EDG and really doing quite well in that game up to a point is much more than I expected out of them, especially after that first EDG game where they got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. And it's a show of respect, I think, from SKT's side that they are making serious picks as well, too. Sivir Braum, fairly serious. Help that Fiora get in a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Help that TF run around a little bit faster.
A little bit interesting here that
Fast
they'd be going
pushing.
for this. Sivir isn't really something that we've seen as much from the Korean teams. In this particular tournament, the Sivir has been very much played by the Europeans, but not really by too many others.
Yeah, globally, Sivir's pick ban rate has dropped significantly since the nerfs, which made the ultimate not as powerful, but she still has other strengths, which are quick lane shoving, and honestly, she can stay pretty safe if you try and dive her. So I like what SKT is doing here. I think they're clearly signaling they want powerful wave clear, strong split pushing, and since they are historically such strong laners, it can work very well for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. Right here, what you want to do is just make sure that you're controlling the wave pressure and the minions on the map. That means that if Bang is there in that mid lane, it opens up opportunities for easyHoon to repeatedly gank for Marin or enter a 1-3-1 split push situation where they can simply just outfight their counterparts. And there's not really an answer to that on the Bangkok Titans. That is also potentially an answer, depending on how it goes, but we could see G4 once again trying to be Faker.
They make the Faker picks.
Hey, well,
You're going to mimic someone, it's a good choice.
exactly. I think if there's anyone in League of Legends you want to emulate, it's probably Faker.
See the Titan smiling right now on your screen, obviously having a good deal of fun with this, and that will be locked in as the counter ticks down.
Nice. So Rise in the mid lane for the Bangkok Titans. And the rosters are all locked in for the last game of the day here on day 2. The League of Legends 2015 World Championships. Obviously expecting a pretty easy win for SK Telecom here, but Bangkok Titans with a chance to really give it their all. For me, the main story is Bang. Is he going to die? Because if he doesn't die in this game, that means he will have 1 death total in groups.
His KDA is currently at 67 or something ridiculously high.
It's really high. Yeah, I believe it is in the 60s right now, but I haven't done the math myself on that.
I want to know what the highest KDA in the history of the group stage is, because I feel like currently Bang would have it. And if he doesn't die in this game, he's probably going to
Bang and Wolf, that bot lane for SK Telecom for a long time had the highest KDA of anybody in Korea. Not surprising at all to me that they come out with a high KDA in Worlds so far in the group stages.
Very good at taking care of themselves with a small amount of jungle pressure. They're reserved. They have that really nice playstyle that it just fits in perfectly. They know what their job is in the team.
They've always been good at that too. I mean, even back from the days when they were on SK Telecom S, these guys were really good at just staying alive and staying solid in the bot lane.
Well, this is basically SK Telecom S.
It is, I guess, yeah, with Bengi. It is with Bengi now. All right, well, hashtag SKT win if you think it might happen, or hashtag Bangkok Titans win if you think these guys can come back and win 1 game at the very end of their Worlds run.
Yeah, this is SKT against BKT, not to be confused with KT in this tournament.
Lots of Ks, lots of Ts.
And grades, so 2 full grades, 2 full tiers above SKT is.
Well, S is
BKT.
like the best score, right? That's like on Dance Dance Revolution, where you're going like so fast that you need to hold in that bar. which I don't believe in, by the way. I feel like you're only as good at DDR as you can be without holding onto that silly bar in the back of the machine.
It's not really dancing at that point, it's just moving your feet really fast.
Exactly.
You're not
That's
allowed to
dancing.
dance like that on the floor. You don't have bars on the back of the dance floor and everyone's just moving their feet.
That looks stupid.
Doesn't impress women.
That's right.
Well, neither does our job, Jan. So there we got that going for us. Woo!
Well, so basically S rank is really good. That's the point of all that. I hope you guys
It's really, really good.
understood. Well, Lloyd strikes the first blow in this battle between SKT and BKT. Whoa, the hook on the Lloyd, though. Can they make anything happen? There's a gold card, but 007's a little bit too close for comfort. Gonna chase him away and do a bit more damage. Oh, Marin coming in for a parting blow, and SKT, the flare, flashed.
I love the flare spam. It's easily my favorite thing about Worlds this time around.
I'm really happy that that made it in.
You know, part of me is like, I wish I could design my own, upload it to the game, and do that. But then I'm like, wait.
I don't think you want that feature.
I know what I would see from other people. And
Yeah,
I
you
don't,
really,
I
really
don't think I want that.
You would have a Street Shark, though, but everyone else would be suffering.
Well, the thing is there's other video game consoles that have dealt with something like this that have a certain algorithm to filter out certain images.
I'm sure it's 100% accurate, too.
It's not- as I've seen it, no.
never failed.
No, I don't think so. Well, Moss hiding in the brush, which seems appropriate.
Yeah, delayed invade here by SKT, but honestly, Bangkok Titans could have set up a pretty clever play there if they would have been a little bit more patient and waited for Wolf to come in, because it's very common for the support to slow harass the two people doing that if you're expecting a lane swap elsewhere. But they showed a little early, and Bangkok Titans doesn't get an advantage on what could have been a clever play.
Yeah. Well, Lloyd getting aggressive, man.
May as well, final game.
Yeah.
Go all out.
I'm curious to see what G4 is going to do in this matchup, because Faker got so much tower pressure down in this Rise versus Twisted Fate. He's going to take a pretty ugly trade right there. Getting caught by a hook there from Wolf.
Oh, he got hit by 2 of the ricochets, too, off the back of the minion wave. So Lloyd is really low after that.
They were trying to be so aggressive in that bot lane, too. It's like they saw Bang and they're like, you stole part of our team name, now you must die.
Oh, man. So I'm curious about G4. Can he live up to what Faker did on this champion? I'm just curious about this matchup in general, because it does seem to be very favorable for Rise. And in this particular matchup, it caters to the way that Faker likes to play, which is with a lot of turret pressure. But that is a delicate dance. And a lot of the reason why Faker is able to play the way that he is because he has the vision and he has the confidence in order to get a lot of auto attacks down on turrets with these mid lane champions and just absolutely crush that mid lane tower faster than many other players.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Easy Hoon takes a bit of damage from G4, but nothing he can't recover from. And man, this bot lane has gone so well for SK Telecom. Bengi coming in, there's a cocoon onto G4, but it looks like Bengi's just left on his own as Easy Hoon is uninterested in pursuing the fight.
Oh, that's not a good start here. It's a large minion wave, which is why Marin was pushed up, but the timing of the gank is perfect.
Kyle tries to dash away. There's the knockup. It's not going to happen, actually, just flashes. I think he was kind of expecting that. The fake out from 007. Not actually going to knock you up. What do you know?
Yeah, Marin has to then play this lane without a flash. I feel like 007X may have misplayed a little bit there. I was expecting him to knock up, or at least get an auto attack off.
Why wouldn't you, you know?
Yeah, well, normally it's just you click on the guy, and as soon as your auto attack hits, you knock up. It was strange. It's almost like he was manually pathing and not auto attacking to unburrow.
He's 007, man. He didn't want to blow his cover yet.
Unfortunately, it was blown.
No,
long
he
ago.
did. He did.
Well, okay, I guess.
It's a really great joke, just in a different context.
Oh, tried.
Well, I think that what's really going to tilt this game is Darius always, even before the rework, of course, one of his weaknesses has been a lack of mobility in that top lane. Very vulnerable to ganks most of the time. And with the Twisted Fate and Elise, that should be where SK Telecom really puts the pressure on. A little bit later in this game, we might see a sort of dive setup here, possibly, as long as they can keep control over that top side of the map. So let's keep eyes on where Elise is going during this recall, because Easy Hoon is just creeping towards level 6.
Bang taking quite a bit of damage. I was wondering if we might see an engage from Moss there, but deciding not to go for it. Bengi moving up to this top lane. Now, Warlock still has his flash, but Marin, without that summoner, may be able to bait him a little bit. Looks like they're not going to try. Or are they?
Yeah, it's definitely a gankable lane, but with a flash disadvantage. A little trick to execute.
There we go. Warlock takes him down. No, the cocoon misses, but Warlock goes deeper. Going to take a ton of damage anyway. Not going to bother to burn that flash. He's dead at first blood. Goes to Marin. Meanwhile, a fight breaks out in the bot lane. Bang getting very low. Looks like they'll be able to escape without anybody going down, though.
No summoners burned at that bottom side. Bang very patiently waiting out that explosive shot just to get the spell shield, delivering a couple of auto attacks in the meantime. G4 bottled up next to his turret right now. And Moss.
Oh, okay. Point blank hook. Not connect. We'll pretend we didn't see that, Wolf.
Yeah, Rek'Sai is doing a little bit of exploring down bottom side. Maybe they're thinking of trying to get a creative gank.
Oh, I think they are.
Here.
A flash pulverize, Bang able to spell shield that one. Looks like they'll get away. Teleport coming down. Here comes Marin. He's got the kill already. It's a grand challenge on 007, but not much of one in the end. As Marin picks up the kill, they get the big heal, and Easyun takes a ride on the lantern. Can they catch Moss?
Still got his ultimate up, so
he's got no flash. There's the gold card. Nice hook from Wolf. He's going to come in for the flay and the kill. G4 backing away with a bit of damage, but Easyhoon not going to let him take out his support. Pretty clean by SKT.
Yep, massive win there from SKT, even from the very start of that play, which to me initiated in the top lane. Marin, I'm not even going to talk about the top lane gank. I'll talk about the bottom lane gank.
Okay.
Because there was a thing I wanted to talk about in top lane, but the moment has passed. Specifically, just a nice teleport in from Marin. You knew he was level 6 and Warlock was dead.
What was so interesting about that fight was how much SKT telegraphed it, because basically we saw Bang run up. He already used Summoner Heal at this point, just ran up in the lane. Then he spell shields the combo coming in from Alistar, but they know this. They're baiting it out. Summoner Heal already used, so they were already thinking about going for that double teleport play very early on. Teleport is then canceled onto the minion. Wolf here comes in with the flash and the flash of the lantern. Then Easyhood finishes up that kill with the flash of his own.
Uh-oh. And Warlock just cannot get close to Marin at this point. And
today,
Wolf caught a little bit, gets headbutted back. G4 and 007 are there. Bengi comes in to try to save his support, but it is futile.
You know when you
Bangkok Titans pick up their first kill.
You know when you don't go warding by yourself in the river?
All
when
the
your
time.
twisted fate is in base, right there. It's not a good time to be wandering off alone.
Dangers of warding.
Yeah, we have
Your
seen
team never appreciates it.
We have seen so many support deaths, not only from trying to ward without backup, but also trying to fight someone while warding without backup, like pretending that you do have backup and then engaging yourself into a bad fight.
Well, Jet, as a representative of Riot, I can just tell you this right now, that I've solved your problem. And the answer is to just make supports do a lot more damage so they can fight if they need somebody in the jungle.
I remember a post
think
on
it's
the
pretty
forums
obvious.
about that, actually. I think that's what's happening. for the
Was
next
that
season.
me? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever that was, I agree. Season 6, make it happen. Teleport comes in for Easy, and there's a challenge, and Warlock, again, not going to be much of one. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot. Easy helps Marin pick up yet another kill. He is 3-0-0 already.
That's pretty much where you want to be as a Fiora when you want to 1-3-1 split push this game. I think he's probably really feeling pretty good.
In about 9 minutes, I think I'd be pretty satisfied with that.
Stacking a heavy amount of AD. Warlock as well, falling pretty far behind the pace, thanks to some nice Bengi ganks. This is my window to talk about the gank that happened like 5 minutes ago.
Go for it, man.
When Bengi ganked Warlock and he missed the cocoon, I actually credit Bengi for putting the cocoon in that exact spot, because the only way Warlock could juke it was going closer to his turret, which basically just ensured his demise. If he wanted to escape, he would have had to get past the cocoon and flash it back towards the opponent turret. Or his own.
Saying if you miss something like that, you can call it zoning.
It was a zoning cocoon.
Oh, I got to remember that.
Actual zoning cocoon.
That's a good idea. Bengi has to flash away from that one, but the gold card in onto G4. Here comes Wolf. Can he get the flay? He does. There's a hook. And G4 going to go down. Another kill for Easyun, or actually his first of the game. And SKT just finding members of the Bangkok Titans and taking them out all over the map.
This farm advantage getting pretty severe too. SK Telecom doesn't look like they're done quite yet. They've got 2 under the turret, and Marin is there with the Tiamat.
Yeah, this could be bad. Marin coming in. There's Wolf, cocoon onto Warlock. They got to wait for that wave. They're just going to pull him out from under turret. There's the flay. Warlock doing a bit of damage with that Q, getting a bit of healing. Bengi in the melee under the turret. Oh, Bengi.
He drew the short
terrible
straw.
decision. Like, all right, you go die. Easyun takes up mid turret in the meantime.
I feel like SKT was waiting for Marin's grand challenge. They kind of need that to do the dive, but it just didn't come up in time, and they were a little cheeky with all the poke they tried to do down on the turret. Well, grand challenge is up now. Oh dear.
Uh-oh, Warlock taken out pretty easily again.
Oh, right
Jeez.
after the flash, too. The summoner goes down. But you know what? They lose a kill, but they pick up the mid lane turret. So all in all, still an advantage for SK Telecom. They had hedged their bets appropriately.
Yep.
That's kind of one of those things where it's like, you get your friend to, I don't know, poke the Wolverine, and you're like, no, we'll help you out. Don't worry, it'll be fine. And then you don't help him out.
This is what you did growing up in Minnesota?
I don't know. I was trying to think of a dangerous
Is that what you
animal.
do at the countryside? Do you
I've
play
never-
poke the Wolverine?
Also
never
watch the
seen a
Minnesota
Wolverine
Vikings.
in real life.
Yes.
No Minnesota Vikings for me, man.
Really?
No, I was born in Wisconsin.
Oh, Green Bay Packers.
Yes, of course. Oh, bang. Knockback under turret. He's going to get back to his support really quickly. Still in a lot of trouble, though, as 007 comes over the wall. Backing away now, has to pop that ultimate. Taking a bit of damage in the end from the Prey Seeker, but he will be okay.
They burned a couple summoners right there. SKT playing without a lot of respect for where 007X can be on the map right now.
Yeah.
Well, this is a Benki classic.
Hey, buddy. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Haha, you were baited into attacking me, thinking that I had disconnected or something.
So that was a really clever play by Elise, but EasyHoon's actually looking to go top lane.
Yeah, that turret's going to get taken out as EasyHoon comes up to secure yet another kill onto Warlock. There goes the turret, and there goes the top laner for Bangkok Titans. That's his 4th death of the game so far.
You wonder about why they would run Fiora with the Twisted Fate, because there's not... Obviously, you're not going to have the same amount of crowd control as you would have with many other top laners, but you cannot run away from Fiora once you get started. Her pursuit is absolutely crazy. So you even get 1 gold card down, and you're pretty much guaranteeing it. Marin, the dodge away from this one. Here comes the TB.
Yeah, that's right. Teleport coming in right now for Easy, who's going to try to save his top laner. Gets a red card and didn't have the gold card loaded up. He's going to have to run for it as Moss comes in. Sorry, Marin. You're on your own, buddy. Oh, no, Easy comes back. He's like, I've got a gold one this time. G4 takes a bit of damage. Marin still falls anyway. There's a cocoon onto 007. Another gold card comes in. Doesn't exactly work out as the sun happens after the tunnel from 007. And SKT not getting any kills out of that one. That was a bit sloppy.
Yeah, they lost about the 3rd fight in a row that was in the top lane. Didn't quite have enough because they were greatly outnumbered by the end of that. I was actually expecting EasyHoon to cancel his teleport once he realized it was a 2v3, but he just went for it. Ended up getting some damage off, not enough.
I like
to
that he
save Marin.
came in with a red card, too. He's like,
And then missed his wild cards.
Yeah, it's like, oh, whatever. Marin's got enough kills. Who cares?
Shutdown gold won't hurt us.
Bang's got to get worried here because, again, you know, his KDA is so high, but I feel like his team is just systematically setting up situations where each of them die.
Yeah, it was 62 before this game.
Oh, geez.
So he's currently got a 63 KDA.
Good luck.
He's playing Sivir, so he'll get some assists by the end of this one,
assists
too.
to generate.
Almost certainly.
Yeah. Well, blue buff for Dragon. Apparently the trade that's going to happen now. SKT, I think, getting the better end of that one, but I'll have to rely on my analyst to confirm that.
Dragon for some CS and
Blue buff.
ally blue buff?
Yeah.
Well, they're like Bangkok Titans getting their own blue buff, and SKT is taking the contested Dragon. I say it's good.
Okay, good. What a relief. Well, SK Telecom continuing to push up through that mid lane a little bit. Bot lane pushing actually back towards SK Telecom at the moment.
They haven't really been able to take down that bottom turret yet, in spite of having the Sivir there for the wave clear. Their warding hasn't been that great in the bottom side so far this game, so a little bit dangerous to push up forward. And they've been playing so much around Marin's Fiora.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, too. I mean, everyone thinks of SK Telecom as a team that just focuses on Faker, but we've seen more and more this tournament that Marin is getting so much of the priority as far as who they get ahead, who they focus on to carry, and he has really been stepping up, too.
Well, a lot of it is, at least in the laning phase, Faker has played a couple of games of Rise, so he pretty much just wants to sit there and farm for as long as possible.
True.
And when you have Marin up in the top side on champions like Darius, they can really get a very large lead, or Fiora. Just go ahead and gank for them early. He's the early power spike that transitions into a late game champion like Rise.
And I also feel like Faker outputs a massive amount of pressure in lane, which helps to enable Marin to have success in the top lane. Not to mention everyone just wants to kill Faker, so he's got this giant target on his back, and Marin can then carry on the backside. The game against EDG was kind of an example of this. It didn't seem like Faker was doing great in their 23-minute victory, and it was the rest of SKT winning a lot of the matches as well. I'll get to that in a minute. Fight up the
Becky
turret.
has to take the Lantern out. Turret goes down in favor of the Bangkok Titans up in top lane, actually.
Yeah, but we also have to remember in the game against EDG, Faker took the majority of the turret as Rise versus Twisted Fate in the matchup, killed the turret, and then solo killed Twisted Fate without taking hardly any damage. So Faker was playing great in that game, even if he had a few deaths.
And part of playing against Twisted Fate is making sure that Twisted Fate can't do anything. And Twisted Fate could not do anything that game. So that's a big, big win, especially if you can output and scale out output so much damage and scale as well as you can on Rise.
Well, I mean, now Yoon is kind of unleashed, though. He's still got his turret. They've taken out the enemy turret. He can move up that map a lot farther and be exactly where Bangkok Titans do not want him to be, which is killing them. That's where they don't want him to be.
With Marin, I think, is the least desirable place for Twisted Fate to be.
Yeah, Bang is pretty much on wave management duty. 0-0-1, returning to the bottom lane. Time to shove that, and then probably rotate mid.
This really is the save Bang's KDA game, isn't it?
That's the whole point of the picks and bans.
I'm pretty sure.
You're listening in to Coma's.
I'll ask Coma later. I didn't hear it, I admit.
Bang should just go back to Urgot then. Play the ultra safe poke game.
That's true. Well. KT. You know, you have to hand it to Bangkok Titans so that they have done a good job of taking vision back in their own jungle. They're not letting SKT get as far ahead with this Twisted Fate as they could.
I think Bangkok Titans did a really good job overall of using their off week here because they came out much stronger today than we saw them in week 1. So there's been a lot of development there already as they acclimate themselves to this world's meta. And I'm impressed with how much of a difference we've seen in this team in just a few days.
Yeah. I mean, the games, the environment certainly has seemed to help them.
Yeah. Even this game against the 5-0 SKT, 4,700 gold differential with 17 minutes. While it's huge in the context of like an SKT versus KT game, as far as Bangkok Titans sticking in this one, this is way closer than we would expect this game to be, especially after the first week.
Dragon up in 40 seconds. Or minute 40, rather. A little bit longer to wait. I just want to fast forward. I want to get to the Dragon. Let's make the fights happen.
Well, it might not even happen because SKT has Marin pushing the top side so powerfully right now. I don't think he can actually dive a Darius under a second-tier turret, so at least that could pull it back towards the Dragon. Still 90 more seconds until the Dragon, though.
Oh well.
Depends on how fancy you can get with that riposte, right? just a skill thing. No problem. Warlock. He's had some standout games so far this tournament, particularly last week. I think he struggled a bit today, but he's looked like a player that maybe one of the strongest on the Titans overall. I thought that some of his games, some of his NAR play, even when the Titans were losing last week, was very solid.
Well, he does seem to kind of be the team leader from the impression we've gotten in the interviews and things like that, and he plays like one too.
Captain of the team.
Yep. You know, the blue buff kind of jumps out of the trees, sort of comes out of the rock there, which means that underneath there's like a blue buff mine. So if you could just dig down there, if you could just dig down there, you get like all blue buffs you wanted. Why are they waiting for this thing to come out?
Well, there aren't any stone mason skins or miner skins yet, so I have to take that's probably the reason. Although Yorick has a shovel.
He does. Might take him a little while.
What else could be under the rift?
Rek'Sai?
Maybe there's just like a giant train filled with gold.
Maybe. That's true.
Those things are just buried in some places.
It could be booby-trapped. It's very likely, though.
I think there's enough gold on Summoner's Rift, though. There really doesn't seem to be a shortage of gold.
Where's it all coming from?
It all comes out of minions.
It all comes out of the ghost trade.
When you hit a monster, gold pops out.
You know, I wonder sometimes, why does anybody want to kill each other? This is a land of plenty.
No kidding. There's enough for everybody.
There's infinite Baron and Dragon meat.
Yep.
You got clean water here in the river. There's an endless supply of gold and shops to buy things at. Why fight at all?
This seems like a paradise. I mean, get rid of all these champions, man. I just want to move in and live here.
Minions just kill each other, and you just wait until they're very low, then you walk up, just sucker punch them and get free money.
And well, people are like, well, you can't leave, so if you want to buy something, what do you do? I'm like, well, order it online, obviously. Nobody needs to go to the store anymore.
What's the Summoner's Rift equivalent of that? Ordering online.
I don't know. I'm sure Jace has like something that's capable of ordering.
Piltover is probably
He's from the future. Uh-oh, Marin. Never mind, it's okay.
I think you just use Hawk Shot to go get things off the map. We know it flies off the map. I assume it can come back.
That's true. Oh, easy and teleporting, coming in. They want a big fight here. He's going after G4.
Oh, interrupted.
Well, another fight happening here. Marin trying to go for the 1v4 here. I don't think that's going to work. Grand Challenge fails on Warlock. Wolf and Benki right there. Whatever happened to EasyHoon, who knows? 007 gets caught. He's in the box, and he's going to teleport or burrow right over to the birds, and then he gets taken out. That was awkward. Whatever. Lloyd, whoa! Can you say critical hit? Man, he rolled like 620s on that one.
Stack deck is pretty mean.
Stack deck, gold card, Lich Bane, Abyssal Scepter right to the face.
Jeez.
That's Twisted Fate burst for you, and that's before he even has a big ticket AP item. Bang picking up 3 assists in that fight in particular. G4 actually flashed to get the Rune Prison to stop the Twisted Fate port at the beginning of the fight, but then the fact that Marin didn't die 1v4 kind of sold Bangkok Titans short in this team fight.
Let's see this happen again. All right, they're a little bit nervous because EasyHoon's about to come in, but Marin's like, no problem.
Benki gets into the middle of this one, but he doesn't have much to do, so he just gets lanterned out right away by Wolf. Bangkok Titans trying to figure out which way to go. Want to rejoin up with G4, who didn't get picked, but then 007 finds himself on the end of a hook cocoon combination, and from that point forward, it's all SKT.
It gave time for Bang and EasyHoon to come down to the rest of the fight, and even though Lloyd could not one thread over the wall, EasyHoon was waiting right afterwards. There was really no way.
Man, Lloyd just got destroyed.
Good rhyme.
I didn't even mean that.
Thought there was going to be a joke follow-up.
No, that just happened. Just natural. He's probably kind of annoyed.
No, we're not doing this, Noah. We're not going into Rhymeland today, sorry.
All right. It's something I'll try to avoid.
Damn you.
That one I'll allow. That was good.
Thank you.
Only the last one.
But it needs the previous ones to work, so you can't do it like that, Chad.
True enough. I can see.
Sweet. And right at 22 minutes, too. That was the fastest victory I've had yet. All right.
We said surrenders didn't count, Noah.
Damn it, I forgot about the tiebreaker.
Oh, bummer. You're right. Top lane, tier 2, taken down by SKT. The lead continues. Uh-oh, Warlock in trouble. Teleport coming in for G4. That's going to scare off Marin and EasyHoon for the moment, anyway.
Marin is just getting so strong with Cleaver and Hydra already being completed. He can almost laugh off the Darius damage, even if Darius lands a nice outer ring of Decimate onto Marin. I think you'd be able to lifesteal off of the minion wave, just quickly disengage, and be completely fine for the next fight. He's really safely in the split-pushing groove.
Well, Ryze is bottom. There is no teleport on this Ryze, and there is a Baron available, and they are going to take this opportunity for sure.
I think they are. 23 minutes in, Moss sees it. What can they do about this? Everybody's so far away.
Well, Rek'Sai
Wolf
can
taking
tunnel.
a lot of damage. Yeah, they're not doing it very quickly either, so SKT does have to back off. Yeah, why not give it a try?
Well, Marin and the Hoon weren't there, so it does make it a little bit slower, and they don't have any tankiness on this composition, too, to really absorb a lot of that Baron damage, and support with Face of the Mountain isn't going to be doing you too many favors, especially at 24 minutes into this game.
Well, KT may try to take the mid lane turret. Marin going to get found, though. He's going to issue the grand challenge onto 007, and then he's going to grandly run away. Gets exhausted. Whoa, hi, Lloyd. Comes in. Do they get the kill? Oh, he went the wrong way. And that is a kill for the Bangkok Titans. A riposte with the wrong direction for Marin, I believe.
Yeah, looked very
Static
strange.
bans.
The way Marin went down there.
Silveralt, they want some revenge, some 4v5 revenge. They're going to pull in G4. That's 4v4 now. 007 getting a bit lower, taking a lot of turret hits. Gold card over the wall, and EasyHoon's going to snipe him. 2 kills already, and there's the flash from Warlock. Worked out pretty well for SKT. 1 minute until the next dragon.
We'll see if they even go for that. They do have an opportunity here, perhaps, to start pressuring this Baron once again. They have complete vision over the pit right now. The jungler is dead.
I still feel like if Bangkok Titans want to contest this dragon, they're capable. They have Alsterald, Darius teleport, and a Trist. Plus,
Not going down fast at all.
with teleport coming up, that makes it pretty nice to secure.
Wolf takes a lot of damage. Lloyd in a lot of trouble here. Looks like they'll back off and let this Baron be taken by SK Telecom. No choice there, really.
Yeah, good call.
Almost lost their ADC.
You see the amount of poke coming in over the wall, too. I mean, Bang really starting to open this up. And Marin's wave clear is pretty good right now.
I would say so. He's fast.
There's no armor on really anybody, the Bangkok Titans either, so he can pretty much just one-shot people.
See, he's bought 2 axes and a pickaxe, which makes his sword swing very quickly. It's a secret. The top lane split push.
Okay.
At least Darius has an axe and he's buying axes. That's good.
It is the perfect item.
Oh,
Easy Hoon has
Warlock!
death cap.
Goodbye.
Yeah, Easy Hoon actually had just picked up the death cap as well as the Baron, so the play for SKT is to get a pick and then try and end the game, which they could do right here.
Yeah, they certainly could. Inhibitor turret goes down. Moss on the run, pops that ultimate. There's the grand challenge. No, that cow's got a family. He's got a herd. Oh, the humanity. 007 getting taken out too. There's a double kill for Marin. Manages to take down G4.
It's okay, 007 doesn't have a family, for to believe that it's like the new timeline, so
That's true.
It's actually even more cruel to kill the Alistair instead of James Bond.
They're just trying to unsettle 007, make him, compromise him in the mission, if you will.
I think another thing we saw in that fight was just the insane healing from the Fiora ultimate. He was taking Nexus turrets with the Grand Challenge healing fountain there. And this looks like a 27-minute win for SKT.
That is it, and with that, SKT goes 6-0 in groups. GG.
And it's so hard to go 6-0 in the group stage of the World Championship. It's something that we didn't see last year except from Samsung White. And something that I don't think we're going to see this year except from SK Telecom.
And, you know, even that was very surprising, too, because we thought for sure EDG would be able to split one with SK Telecom, but it was a very different EDG team we saw coming into Worlds now. They made it out of the group, but SKT, right now at least, looking head and shoulders above everybody else in this tournament, more or less.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what this team does in the quarterfinal. There are still 2 undefeated teams remaining in the group stages. So we will find out Saturday and Sunday whether or not Cloud9 or Origin can match the 6-0 record. But they are up against some pretty formidable competition as well.
Yeah, that's
something.
That's the thing is, one thing that helped SKT here was having a relatively weak group, and with EDG, I think, underperforming, that definitely contributed.
On SKT, bring the Bangkok Titans out on stage with them. It's their last game of Worlds 2, and the crowd, of course, wants to give them a big and well-deserved applause. Well played by Bangkok Titans, certainly making a lot of those losses look a bit competitive.
Yeah, both teams bowing together on stage. Pretty cool to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Respect shown from the Bangkok Titans, mutual respect. Bangkok Titans, they showed up much better than they did during the first week.
Yeah, that's right. And that's really encouraging. Obviously, when you see a team like that improve so quickly, definitely going to be a team to watch in the future. So let's send it over to Dash and the rest of the analysts to see what they thought about that last game.
Thank you, Doa. I love to see both teams bowing there. You know, as they mentioned, respect shown by SKT to BKT, and it's much deserved because this team, in my opinion, approached Worlds with absolutely the right mindset. And I truly believe they're going to come out of Worlds with so much because of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think like the games they've shown like interesting qualities. I don't think they were too bad. Like Warlock stepped up in a lot of games. People saw him as a weakness. It's what I heard on social media at least. And in general, I think they should go out of this tournament with their head held up high.
Definitely. And Bangkok Titans have been a part of the Southeast Asian region for so long. They've been everywhere from last to now first. They've had 20-something players. Like, overall, being able to participate in a Worlds, being able to get the culture, like spy on what other teams do to make them so good, they're going to take nothing but success out of this tournament. And they did compete at least on a relatively good level.
And I think participating in the World's Finals is a really good experience for them. And I think this experience will let them to rock over the teams in their own region. And I have to give credit for Lloyd because we see his plays today, and there are some mistakes when he's playing Tristana, but he plays decently last game. Against a huge enemy like SKT, his AD performance is just the same as Bang.
Yeah, I think the caster's point about the difference we saw between BKT of week 1 and week 2, just in that span of time, was a massive improvement. Now we flip over to the other side, SKT finishing out their group stage here with the 6-0, undefeated, looking strong as ever. You know, if I dare say so myself, you know, kind of footholding themselves into that position of team to beat.
You do not want to draw SKT. Like, let's just be really upfront. There is a game in the draw coming up, and it is do not get SKT, because those guys, they're monsters. They're honestly, teams will go to bed at night and have nightmares about how good this team is, and they play with two different mid laners who are both rock stars. Like, I cannot talk about this team highly enough. They are incredibly intimidating.
I have to highlight also, like, coming from this group, I think we have the two best junglers in the whole World Championship. Bengi and Clearlove, I'm pretty excited to see them play against the other junglers coming out from the other groups, because I feel in this particular group, it's been like, the metaphor I like to use is like Pac-Man. The other junglers are basically the ghost chasing the Pac-Man, and at some point, like, the Pac-Man is just farming away, picks up the item that allows them to kill the ghosts, and that kind of shows, like, in the matchup, for example, Bengi against Lulex, he was falling around, and then eventually he died, and I think generally, these two junglers, they deserve a lot of credit.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, with all of Group C's matches on the books, let's see how the four teams stand. SK Telecom will advance to London's quarterfinals as the #1 seed. EDG right behind them in second. They'll be drawn into the knockout round bracket immediately following the final group stage game on Sunday. So be sure to stick around after the final nexus is smashed. And with another two teams advancing to London's quarterfinals, it's time to look towards tomorrow, when we'll know who will continue on to the knockout stage from Group D. The action kicks off with an NA versus EU clash between Team Solomid and Origin. KT Rolster squares off against LGD, and then TSM gets back on the Rift against Korea's #3 seed. A quick programming note, the games will be starting 2 hours earlier tomorrow, so make sure that schedule is free and clear, because it all kicks off at noon Central European time, 3 a.m. Pacific, even earlier for us, gentlemen. But when we look at tomorrow's lineup of games, this was a group that turned out entirely differently in week 1 than most people expected. Going into week 2, what are the matchups we're looking at?
I think this group is one of the most exciting group, because we can see, I think, in my opinion, I think the average team ability is not that diverse as like today's game. And we can know that the China's #1 seed, LGD, is suffering from 3 losses already. So I hope, because I'm from China, I hope that LGD can have a huge performance, because we know that Flame is going to play tomorrow. So well, I'm hoping that Flame will be a better top lane when he saw Acorns play in those days.
We'll see if that's enough to make a difference for LGD. However, we look at Origin and KT. Both of these teams looked really strong in week 1.
Yeah, this is what I'm looking forward to. Who stays on top of this group? Because when you look at it, I completely agree. It's kind of like all 4 teams have a fighting chance, and then Origin just came out of nowhere, man, and they look super impressive, especially beating a Korean team around the map. I haven't seen a team do that in a very long time. Am I interested in LGD? Sure, but I want to see whether Origin as a team can stay at that peak performance. Doing it for a week, that's something, but 3 games in 1 day against 3 quality opponents, that's going to be a challenge.
I'm also very excited for Origin, because in the past, I've always seen Xpeke as a weakness, but in this tournament, he's a strength. And with that in mind,
He's
like,
a monster in this tournament.
It is so hard to kind of just looking at these teams, especially KT and Origin, it's very hard to highlight weaknesses. You just have to come in with your own strengths, which I'm hoping LGD will finally show.
A very exciting day of games awaits us tomorrow. It's time for us to go to bed. That does it for another day of Worlds. For now, we got to go on cooldown as we gear up for another episode of Worlds tonight. On behalf of myself, the analyst desk, and everyone here working hard to cover the action, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time for more of the 2015 League of Legends World Championship.
Here we go, the beginning of the day here at the World Championship, Day 6.
Teleport from Amazing J is going to be cancelled as EDG. Hand from Marn as he may clear this one up.
Chapitre n'a pas de bague, mais il fait suffisamment de dégâts. Pendant ton temps, il reste Amazing J. C'est dommage.
The 2-0 against EDG here for SKT.
Nothing picked up. Odwando still in the front line. Ryu pushed back, but does it really matter? G4 caught up and down goes Yasuo.
You said it right, probably?
Yes, he said it.
Yeah. You guys are stupid, and I'm getting triggered, and I'm gonna troll this game.
Ability to get something down, but Clearlove takes the Super Mega Death Target. Death is so dead.
Mina, Lolo die. Like, Lolo. 80. Okay, AD no kashi. Nice.
It's EDG after a comeback from 6,000 gold pick themselves up a victory.
As SK Telecom chasing down Bang! The damage from Bang is insane right now. Double kill. Can he get more? Triple kill. It's another win for SKT. They're 5-0 in the group now. Needs one last fight. Amazing J goes in under Ryu. Ryu gets evaporated. Lulex running for his life. And Odoamne can't participate. H2K says, do you have a win? And EDG says, go fish. Lloyd, whoa! Can you say critical hit? Man, he rolled like 620s on that one. On the run, pops that ultimate. There's the grand challenge. No, that cow's got a family. He's got a herd. Oh, the humanity. SKT goes 6-0 in groups. GG.